Okay, we're back. I think we're back. I think we got Bertland, and I think we've got internet, and my equipment was not happy about starting back up again. I actually, 5 minutes before 1 o'clock, you guys know that I like to start right on the top of the hour. 5 minutes before 1 o'clock, I decided I just got to restart my computer because I had everything else running, and XSplit, which is my streaming software, it wouldn't show the scheduled session for me to select. So I exited and relaunched and did a couple other things. Nothing worked. So I restarted the computer 5 minutes before showtime. Ay, caramba. Here we go. Punching over to Zoom. I've got, whoops, that's not Zoom yet. Hang on, Bertland. Yeah, I didn't get to do that piece because of restarting the computer. There's another adjustment I got to make. There you are. There you are. Let's see if we can hear you.
Hi, everyone.
I can hear you. Now, I don't think we have many back in chat. Is there anybody in chat that can verify that you hear both me and Bertland? And my watch is still on the desktop. I don't know if we have anybody actually with us yet. So I know that you actually started watching our last video.
Yes.
Your power was out for how long?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. Yeah, so what happened? You'll go back and watch, I'm sure, later. And actually, just so that you know,
Yes.
the chat, the replay of the chat, it won't show up until after YouTube is finished with some processing stuff. Sometimes the chat doesn't show up until the following day.
Okay.
But yeah, there were some people in chat that I think one person said that internet was down for half of your island, or the power was down for half of your island. Somebody else said the internet was down for the whole island, or power. I'm not sure which. Do you know how big of a deal it was?
No, I didn't check. Did
Okay.
not check. I just basically was trying to figure out what was going on. And I was
Yeah.
calling around my local area here. My friends all had the same issue. So,
Yeah. Okay. So that was kind of a big deal.
yeah, it
Um,
was.
So I also, after we lost you, I gave the people some updates that I've had come through, and I think you got far enough along in rewatching the video to see some of that. And and then there were some jokes at the end, and I got a little embarrassed because, well, they didn't know that because I didn't get it until a little delayed reaction on my part. So anyway, I think you and I will probably just go ahead and move forward with
Sure.
talking about the PTA.
Yes.
So you gave us in the last stream, which we started about an hour ago, an update, a report on the communications that you've had with people from some blurbs that you put out on Instagram, and you got some responses from. So
Yes.
I've got two directions in mind that I want to go with that. One is about the content of the blurb itself to see if we can tweak that up a bit. And then the other is some research information about PTA and getting you a little more educated on them and what their needs might be. So let's start with the Instagram stuff.
Yes.
Think back to our conversations about your logo and your advertisements for you as a business. One of the things we talked about is when somebody sees your advertisement, can they see, oh, that might be the solution to my pain. That might be the solution to my problem. So I got some ideas to suggest to you that you include in your blurbs, your Instagram, trying to attract people's calls. Something along the line of, could technology improve your PTA? As a kind of a heading. Maybe wordsmith that a little bit. Keep it as few words as possible. Tech improve PTA. I get you down to 3, but I don't really like that a little bit. Needs a little more wordsmithing, but then the sub items, what we want to do is we're trying to imagine what might a PTA, what pain might they be feeling? So, for instance, could technology help your PTA? And then maybe 1, communicate easier between each other, organize your fundraisers better, produce newsletters from the classrooms, organize events easier. Try to find some specific things that they have to do that perhaps some of them are spending a lot of time with. Manage your contact list. Send emails to PTA members. So very specific things. And then maybe at the bottom, free 1-hour Zoom consultation where you will consult with them free for an hour, and you're going to try in that 1 hour to give them some tips, some solutions, some helps to move them forward. Now, part of that time is going to have to be you asking questions, finding out what is your pain? What does take too much time for some of your people? You might not know how I can help make it easier and quicker for you. There may be, well, I think you probably get the idea from that much of an explanation.
Yeah.
You're giving them very specific items because when you just say, well, let's see,
does your school have a parent teachers association? Could you put me in contact with them? I can add some value to the self-sustaining. Is this like describing what the PTA is, not describing what the value I can add?
Yeah, you didn't actually describe what the value is. You just said, I can provide value. And they're looking at that, oh, really? How much junk mail do they get? How much advertising do they get? And this doesn't give them any specific things. And you're saying, I can help you manage your membership better, easier. Now, you don't know that until you talk to them. So the question is, can technology help your PTA? And maybe it's appropriate thing. There's a colon. Number 1, do this. Number 2, do this. Number 3, do this. When you're giving those specific things, then that draws their attention to those things, and they might even think, well, we're okay with those things, but how about this? Can you do this piece? You've already had experience with that, where you've put out a specific piece of advertising and somebody has contacted you about something completely unrelated.
Yes.
So that's my suggestions. You're getting them thinking about specifics. And they might say, well, no, not that one, but can you do this? And then you're putting free 1-hour Zoom consultation. So now this isn't just call me. Because then that can be a little, what are we going to do in this phone call? Are you going to be high sales? Free 1-hour consultation, meaning you're actually trying to help them in that free 1 hour. And chances are, with them being related to the schools, they're already familiar with Zoom and kind of comfortable with it. And that's the kind of client that you're interested in anyway. You probably don't want somebody who's, no, I don't want to do Zoom. That's going to be a little difficult for you to do anything with them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that. Does that cover all the things that I was thinking about for your advertisement? I think so. Does that strike any thoughts for you?
Yes, it does. It actually makes a lot of sense, because what I was sending to persons is just a big description of what I think the PTA is, but not a description of the services or the value that I can actually add. So
yeah, they know what they are.
Exactly.
and the part I was about to make a joke, considering making a joke about your statement. I can add some value to this self-sustaining and independent group of committed, united, involved stakeholders. Some people are going to read that and say, that's not our PTA. we're not good for you because we're not doing that. Our people aren't committed, they aren't united, they aren't involved, but we need them to be.
Yeah.
So you're making an assumption there that they're already at that level of operation. You're basically telling them things that you think about them. It's kind of irrelevant at this point. More what's relevant is what can you do for them? What
Yeah.
maybe things can you do for them? And when you get them thinking along those lines, then they may be able to think of some other things. And can you put me in touch with? Well, I'm very reluctant to give out contact information for somebody that I know, for somebody that I don't know, that wants to make contact. Yeah, no, that's going to reflect on my reputation. I have no idea what you're going to do in that contact. So more what I think that the way to go is free 1 hour consultation. And you don't care if it's a person in authority. If it's a person who's just a member of the PTA, that would be fine because that's going to be a learning experience for you. You're going to find out some more stuff about how they operate. Now, this free 1 hour consultation via Zoom, 1 hour might not be enough. During that 1 hour, you might be just getting information, knowledge about what they're doing. You might put out a few things, but if you don't feel at the end of that hour that they have had an aha moment where you tell them something you can do for them and they say, yes, we need that. If you haven't got to that point, then you need to suggest, how about we do another hour in a couple days? I want to do a little research. I'm going to give you another free hour in a couple days. Could we do that? Well, by that time, they're probably going to feel pretty okay with you, but you don't need to advertise more than an hour free. If you advertise an hour free and that gets far enough, then you can make your next level pitch. And I'm going to give you a suggestion of a next level pitch. You need to massage a little bit and make it fit what you want to do and willing to do. And it's probably you're probably going to make some adjustments to your offering to them based upon your conversation up to this point. So what is that over there? Is that this? Oh, okay, whatever. So at that end of that hour, or if you do a second hour, you need to talk about a fee structure at some point. So it could be something like this. Well, if you'd like to move forward with this, I'd like to move forward with you, and it's going to cost you $25 an hour for 5 hours during the first month. After the first month, or after those first 5 hours, then you have to come up to my normal hourly rate, which is $50 an hour, $75 an hour, whatever number you want to put it at. So those first 5 hours, only during the first month. They don't get 5 hours that they can spread out over 4 months. So 5 hours during the first month or number of weeks, however you choose to structure it. But I'm suggesting this would be a dollar amount per hour, well below what you want to tell them your regular hourly rate is. Now, it's quite possible that they're going to get what they want out of those 5 hours during the first month, and they might not need to come back for more for a long time. They might not come back at all. So that $25 an hour, or whatever number you choose, needs to be enough that you're okay with it. You've got some on-the-job training there. It's not the hourly rate that you want, perhaps, or maybe it is. I don't know. But you have to know that you can't necessarily count on them coming on at your full rate. So that 5 hours during the first month could be really what your target is. And when you're telling them your regular hourly rate that they have to step up to, $50 an hour, $75 an hour, whatever you choose, you might know that they're never going to do that or never going to get there. But because you tell them that's your regularly hourly rate, they feel like they're really getting a deal on this first 5 hours. Now, during that first 5 hours, you get a lot of exposure to the people that are in their PTA. Those people have regular full-time day jobs, and they might not be happy with their IT support. So the conversation could come up, well, do you work for business? So this regular hourly rate that you tell them needs to be the hourly rate that you're willing to charge to businesses for doing work for them. Now, not only are you exposed to those PTA members, you're also exposed to their spouses, their adult children who have jobs, their relatives, their neighbors. So your performance, even if the dollar amount that you offer them for these first 5 hours, 4 hours, 3 hours, first month, 2 months, whatever you choose, whatever you do during that, that has a much higher advertising value to you than any advertisement that you might actually pay for out of your pocket. So they're paying you for you getting advertisement for your business. Making sense?
Win-win. I love it. I love it. That
All
is some next level stuff.
All right. Very good. Did we get any of our people back? Oh, I see that it looks like 8 viewers right now. Say hello in chat, please. Let's see. I think this is actually showing, must be showing the earlier, yeah, stream 65 minutes ago. So my monitoring over here is showing the video that we bailed on. Let's get this back up right. Yeah, Bertland's the only one I see in chat, and that is still going to the wrong one. So I'm going to go myself to youtube.com/LWTDB and launch it from there. I bet people just assumed they were getting the same notification again because it's the same thumbnail. There it is, and it's muted. Okay, so I think that covers the part number 1 of 2 about your advertisement and your reaching out, and that also kind of covers your strategy. Those Zoom sessions, they might ask, can we have more than one person on our side? And of course your answer is yes. Bring as many as you want. So we need for you to be up to speed a little bit more about what might you be offering them. So how do we get you a little education about PTA? So I'm going to ask you, let's see, do you have the YouTube playing on your other device there?
Yes.
Because I'm going to display my computer number 2, and I'm gonna show you something here and see if you were already aware of this. And if you weren't already aware of this, you're gonna have to do this. Okay? Because you probably should have been already aware of this. Let's see if you are. Now, let's see, am I gonna punch this right? I'm probably gonna have to make an adjustment.
Okay.
Because of, yes, I do. So, I just popped back so that I can go. Let's see. I've got it. This is going to look really weird on the video, but I've got to make a couple of adjustments here.
Okay. I saw it though. I saw it a while ago.
You did.
I got a glimpse of it. I actually went on that page.
Oh, you did. All right. Bravo. You did it. You did it.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, why is this going so slow?
If you read the description of that page, it's kind of very similar to my message.
All right, great.
Yeah.
So then that's there, and then let me punch this here, and this is just going so badly because I had to restart the computer. And I think your power outages in Jamaica affected my computer.
Yeah.
That is just totally wrong. I'll shut down the Google Earth thing in the background. Maybe My
No problem.
computer's struggling. Yeah, my computer's showing high CPU right now.
So
And let's close down that thing
yeah,
and see if this will let me adjust the picture in picture.
okay.
Okay, so that's that. And then there brings you in.
Nice.
And your edge is there. Bring this up here. So you have seen this already. Bravo.
Yes,
I am so proud of you. Awesome.
thank
National Parent Teacher Association of Jamaica.
yes.
Who knew such a thing existed? So you went and researched it and found out that you know it now. So did you learn some things from here about how they operate?
Not really. I just realized that they don't have a website. Most PTAs don't have a website. The National Parent Teachers Association of Jamaica doesn't have a org or a .gov.jm website. That's the first thing I
Okay.
noticed.
Well, that's okay. Maybe they don't need one. They don't
Maybe.
really need to have a public exposure. Why would they want a website? It kind of makes sense to me that they would have Facebook because that's more of a intercommunication between them. But you should be able to find some things about meetings and such here and how the National Association interacts with the local association. So let me take you to the next tab I have up here that might be helpful to you. I did a Google search for PTA minutes. Now, I'm sure you know what minutes are for
Yeah, that's really
meetings,
smart.
right? So here's a bunch of sample PTA minutes, but people also ask, how do you write minutes for PTA? How do you start a PTA meeting? How long are PTA meetings? How do you write minutes? Now, once you start looking at any of these, that should bring up more also asked items. I'm going to right click on this and actually open that in a tab, but then come back here. There's at some point we should get more. Yeah, see, there's more here now.
Mm-hmm.
When you start expanding and collapsing these things, there's more things that people ask about minutes in regards to PTA. So is it possible that technology might be able to make it easier for them to do their minutes?
Yes. Zoom.
How about a template of their minutes that they can just change each week? How about it could be as simple as, for example, a person has, if they have OneDrive on their computer and they open the last meeting's minutes and then they start making changes and then they try to save it with a different name, that won't work if you're using OneDrive. What you need to do with OneDrive is open last month's meetings and then right away do save as to save it under a different name. However, if you have OneDrive and you go to the file menu, the save as option is not there. It doesn't exist if you're using OneDrive. Well, I've got in my video somewhere, and maybe I'll do another one, where you can add a icon on the quick access toolbar up at the top to save as. So you open the last meetings, click on that save as, put in the name of the new month, save that, and then go make your changes. Or perhaps show them or train them how to do a keyboard merge in Microsoft Word. If you're not aware of it, a keyboard merge, it wouldn't be hard for you to learn how to do it. You have fields at different places on the form. You fill in this blank and hit enter and fill in the next blank, fill in the next blank, so that you basically have a form to fill out. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to be a good thing for minutes, but there's also agendas. So for the aviation clubs that I was on the administration teams for a long time, I would do minutes and also some school advisory boards I was on. I would do an agenda, and then the minutes would be the same document, just changing the word agenda to the word minutes and filling in the information on each of the items that we talked about. Yeah. So it's quicker and easier to do. So that could just be a simple conversation during your initial consultation. How does your secretary do agendas and minutes? Or maybe you're not talking to the secretary and they don't know, but I can show them an easy way to take the agenda and transform it into the minutes with fewer keystrokes, quicker and easier to do, so that it can be done in a more efficient way. So there's all kinds of questions here. Then you can, that's just PTA minutes. So then what else do we do? PTA, if you put in PTA alone, Google suggests some other things. PTA meeting agenda, PTA program, PTA school. Then another thing you can do here is, okay, so let's try PTA space A. PTA abbreviation, account, approved, acronym, assistant salary. That doesn't tell us much. PTA space B. PTA board, that might be PTA bylaws. Maybe they need that. PTA board positions. PTA benefits, looking down further. Backspace over the B, put a C. So this is a way to find lots of different things regarding PTA just because of Google search suggestions. So you gain more knowledge about how PTA operates, so that in your 1 hour free consultation, you've got more substance that you can dazzle them with.
Yes.
Okay, so then let's go on. There's another, what did I do for this one? Oh, PTA needs assessment survey. So when you get to the point where you do PTA space N, you'll see this as one of the suggested searches. PTA needs assessment survey. So you can look at some of the things regarding that. Scholarly articles for PTA needs assessment survey. I right click on that, choose open a new tab, and you learn more stuff about PTA. So it's you get a bachelor's education in PTA.
Yes.
In an afternoon of Googling around. And back on this PTA minute, something we didn't get to is scroll down here a little bit. I think we can actually get to Union Elementary PTA General Meeting Minutes. So I'll right click on that, open a new tab, and that went away. It didn't
It's
like
a download.
that.
It's a download. It's in
Oh
your
yeah,
download.
it's down here, right? Thank you. So here to actually read an actual minutes of a real PTA meeting. You're likely going to find some things in here that gives you clues as to what pain they might be feeling, you know, or a PTA in general might be feeling.
Yes.
President's report, health commissioner report, volunteer coordinator report. So now you're getting some job titles within the PTA. New business. I move that we hire the Clown Around Company for our field day activities this year. And in a couple months down the road, what you'd like to see on that line is motion by Abby Jackson. I move that we hire Bertland Hope to work with our tech needs. There you go.
Yes, Doug, this is some sage level advice right here. I must say, from I started to have the conversations on Instagram following your suggestion. I basically just started to have conversations. I was just trying to do the thing like not engaging with persons and having a conversation. I see since I started having the conversations, I began sending the direct messages to persons and responding, like having a conversation with him, saying hi and then hi back, and we talk for a little bit and then I ask them these things. It's a better way of doing it than what I was doing before. Like I was just trying to bot them, like shove it nifty.
Okay. So here's another thought. At some point in your conversation with them, and I don't think you need to put this in your advertising to them, but probably during your consultation session, you might give them just a brief orientation as to your status, your availability, because you have a full-time job. So at some point you need to let them know that. And one of the ways to bring it about is I've been working X number of years for the government in IT, which that is right.
Yes.
And I'm developing my business on the side now to provide the same kind of integration of IT capabilities to help people, help organizations. I've been doing that for the government for X number of years, and this is what I'm doing now. So for now, I'm only available in the evenings and weekends or whatever it is. So like that 5 free hours during the first month, you would, when you're making that offer, you have to be telling that's on weekends or that's evenings, unless you have some daytime hours available. But you need to get that out on the table because you're not full-time in this, but you are full-time computer support in the computer industry for X number of years. And saying the government, or you could also say the IP, whatever you call IP office,
yes.
Intellectual property, that's certainly an impressive sound. And then, aren't you specifically in security?
No, I'm actually everything there. I'm the man.
Everything IT. Okay.
Yeah.
So everything IT for the IP
Office.
department for the government of Jamaica.
Yeah.
That's an impressive piece. How many years would you be?
7 years. 7 years.
7 years
So far, counting.
Yeah,
And I'm staying there until I retire.
Say that again.
I'm staying there until I retire from when I leave. When I leave.
So you're
working.
not trying to get away from your full-time IT job. You're just adding work on the side.
Actually, I want to get away from a full-time IT job, but when I retire, not right now. I'll probably retire in another 10, 15 years.
Oh, okay.
I want to make some more contributions to the government before.
Okay, great.
And, yeah, I want to get Jaipur. For my place, I want to bring them online filing, online payment, and transaction of business online. So I want them to kind of receive money online.
Yeah.
And receive applications online. And I want them to can do that before I leave. So when I leave, somebody else can carry them to the stars,
Great. So I think that covers the things that I had on my mind.
Those things, I really must say, Doug, I don't know. I thank you so much for sharing with me. And every time you tell me something and I try it works. Because this PTA, this PTA idea, it's similar to your aviation clubs, where you target a club or attach yourself to a cause, and then you get access to persons who are helping persons who are doing something, that is helpful.
Yeah. My involvement with the aviation community and with the Chamber of Commerce and the education advisory committees, those all did result in work for my computer business. So that's networking, contact networking. So you get known by people as a person who is contributing value every place you turn. Sometimes you're getting money for it, sometimes you're not. But when you're not getting money or not getting much money from it, you are getting
good
contacts.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're getting on-the-job training. You're getting experience. Right now your focus is on PTA. After you get something rolling with that, you may become interested in some other area because somebody involved with the PTA says, well, hey, can you help us in our whatever club?
Yeah.
And so now you spend some time Googling around and learning some stuff about them so that when you have an initial free consultation with them, you've got some content to give them. You got some value to give them. And you really want, during this hour free consultation, you really want to give them some things that is a done deal, meaning they can take that and run with it. They don't need any further help from you for that piece.
Yes.
So they walk away from it saying, I've got benefit now. I don't have to pay him to get this. He gave me this value now because he cares about giving value. And if they see that in your free session, they're going to easily assume that that's going to be there for your paid sessions too.
I had some questions that
All right.
I want to, so for that's the same thing I had in mind when I go to meet these people and interview them and talk to them. What am I going to ask them? But the way you were doing it, I really appreciate that. So I'm going to add that to my research method. But I have some questions that I found that I could ask them. So I asked them like, why do you think we are talking today? And I have a next one. What puts you above your competitors? And what are your department's top priorities for this quarter, for this fiscal year? And what would success look like for you? So I basically found these generic questions and I'll just structure
Okay,
them.
well, those questions don't strike me as being appropriate for PTA at all. The first one, yes. The first one, why do you think we're talking today? But it needs to sound like it's a question coming from your mind, from your heart, not that you're reading.
Yes.
So you introduce yourselves, and so tell me what about my advertisement interested you? What pain do you think you're having that I might be able to help with to let them come up with that? Now, if they don't have anything on their mind, which is entirely possible, then you need to start throwing out some suggestions. Well, tell me how your meetings go. Tell me how your fundraising works. Tell me how your communications with each other. What do you use for email? Yeah. Do you have to add people's emails to an email and click send? Or are you using an email service that makes that membership easy so that if somebody changes their email, they can easily change it themselves in the database? Because there's lots of free ways to do that. So you want to start by letting them tell you what they think technology could do for them. And then regardless of whether they have anything or not, you need to have some areas that you can ask them about that you think you might be able to help them with. Mm-hmm. They don't know what they don't know. True. So asking them to describe some things about how does your organization handle this, and this. And just listen to their answers and let their answers guide you to something else. Yes. Definitely you want... Well, okay. I got to be a little careful in saying this. Okay. In some geographies, in some jurisdictions, it's illegal to record somebody without their permission. True. So I have no idea what it's like in Jamaica, but you might just ask them up front, is it okay with you if I record this for my own use so that I can be sure I cover everything? True. Yeah, so that because you want to have a recording of the conversation, because I promise you, you will end the 1 hour session with them having forgotten 30 or 40% of what they said. True, and that's maybe what I do with your videos. I rewatch your videos and make notes after, because what we talk about now, even if I'm trying to make the notes now, when I'm watching it over and I'm looking at the notes that I made, I still have to make corrections to those notes. Yeah. I still have to add in things, and I rewind a little bit and I make some notes. I turn on the captions on a copy what is, you know what I mean? Yeah. So you said you had a few questions. No, those were the questions. You covered them. Okay. Yeah, those were the questions. But I just yeah, that's like some next level stuff right there. All right. Could tech improve PTA? Can technology help your PTA? Communicate easier. Organize your fundraisers. Produce. I don't remember. I have to check back for that. Organize events. Manage your contact list. Send emails to PTA members. Free 1 hour Zoom consultation. Yeah, so in my imagination, I'm seeing a sentence at the top. Could technology help your PTA? And then 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think that's just what you described. Yes. And then free 1 hour consultation by Zoom. And so then some way for them to reach you. You want them to reach you by an email address or a Facebook or Instagram. I guess that's what you're doing. Yeah, because they already know the Instagram. So so they could send me a direct message. Yeah, so they send you a direct message, and then you're going to need to send them a date and time and Zoom credentials.
Yes.
And somehow indicate some alternative dates and times. But I like to do it in a way to cut down the number of back and forth communications. Like if they reach out to you and say, yeah, I'd like to do this 1 hour consultation. Okay. So are you going to pitch them a day and time? Are you going to pitch them a few choices of day and time that they pick one of those?
What you did for me was you pitched me sometimes and I chose one, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you gave me like 2 or 3 times and I think we chose one.
Yeah, so you could offer these 2 or 3 times, and if those don't work, then then suggest what would work for you.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But trust me, I'm going to be putting a lot of traction on this right now.
Okay.
I see it can go very far, and persons responding to it because it's like persons are saying this is a really good initiative, really like this initiative. It's like almost like a charity kind of thing. So yeah, I really appreciate it.
Okay, very good. Well, I think we can go ahead and shut this down then and go again for next week.
Yeah, definitely. I must say thank you for having me back. I know you have a busy schedule. I just want to tell the Cosmos thanks to what's his name again?
Blackwatch?
Not Blackwatch. Ken Stout.
Ken Stout, yeah.
Yeah, for the session. I know life happens, so we made use of the time. And I want to tell everybody thanks for the I'm not sure, was it Blackwatch that gave that suggestion for PTA?
For PTA?
Yeah, somebody made the suggestion.
Yeah, last week somebody made the suggestion out of chat, I believe, and that's what we turned towards. I don't know who it was, but you can go find that on the video.
I could as well. So that's homework for me as well. So I have that.
All right. All right.
I'll have that. But I really want to tell you, Doug, thank you so much, because the information that you just shared a while ago.
Yeah.
About the next level pitching, right?
Okay.
I wasn't even on that level. So thank you so much.
All right. Very good. You're welcome. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video, and you can go ahead and punch the leave button for the Zoom session, and I'll see you again next week.
Thank you.
All right. Bye. Okay, so we got that session done. The first session today with Bertland we had to bail on because the internet went down on the island of Jamaica. So we'll be back most likely with Bertland again next Saturday at 12 p.m. Pacific time. If you want to reach out to me for anything, there's the email address on the screen, DougBetts at LiveWindowsTraining.com. And I hope that was useful. Have a great day. Catch you later. Goodbye.